We now start. It's very important. The Hormuz paradox, why the West is better. You checking my report and Wikipedia is very important. I continued the report, my research. Despite low direct import volumes, US 2.5%, EU 8%, the West remains hypersensitive to the Strait of Hormuz for three systemic reasons. You may checking, we are repeating very important analysis you are hearing, and my visual report is very understanding for the world analysis. The global price arbitrage, single market reality, the concept oil is fungible global commodity price, WTI, Brent are determined by global supply and demand, not local production. The impact, if Hormuz is blocked, 20% of global supply vanishes, global buyer will outbid each other for non-Middle Eastern oil. Constantly, gas prices in New York and London will skyrocket to match global levels regardless of where the oil was pumped. The global price arbitrage, the single market reality, the concept oil is fungible global commodity prices, WTI, Brent are determined the global supply and determined not local productions. The impact, if Hormuz is blocked, 20% of global supply vanishes. Global buyers will outbid each other for non-Middle Eastern oil. Consequently, gas prices in New York and London will skyrocket to match global levels regardless of where the oil was pumped. The LNG trap, Europe's new dependency. The shift after pivoting away from Russia gas, the UAE, EU, Germany, France now relies heavily on LNG, liquefied natural gas. The bottleneck, Qatar is top supplier to the EU. Over 93% of Qatari LNG must pass through Hormuz. A blockade means an immediate energy blackout of European industries. Number 3, microeconomic contagion, inflation and political risk. Inflationary pressure, spiking energy price trigger cost push inflation, forcing central banks to keep interest rate high, leading to global recession. The political stability, high fuel price are political poison for Western leader. For the U.S. administration, a 20 spike at the pump is direct threat to domestic stability and election outcomes. Strategic comparison for video capture region, direct import from Hormuz, strategic vulnerability level, primary risk factor, USA low 2.5% extreme, domestic gas price and inflation, UK and EU moderate 7-10% extreme, LNG supply chain and industrial collapse, Asia, Korea, Japan critical line 85% plus, extensional total systematic shutdown. Geographic independence does not mean economic immunity. In a globalized market, Hormuz is everyone's problem. This is why the SMS system I propose is the only shield against this systematic collapse. Geopolitical analysis, the Hormuz crisis, Russia's strategic windfall. While the Strait of blockage triggers a global systematic collapse, Russia emerges as a sole accidental winner. Here is a strategic breakdown of how Moscow leverages this crisis. 1 point, revenue windfall, the price premium, Ural crude surged, a Middle Eastern supply 20% of global oil vanishes, the global market becomes desperate. The discount on Russian Ural crude disappears and it now trades at a premium. Daily revenue Russia is estimated to gain in additional $150 million, 150 million, 200 million per day in excess energy revenue. Expectedly, funding is not long-term strategic ambitions. Russia as the safe harbor for Asia. The pivot of the East with sea routes blocked in the Middle East, China and India have no choice but to rely on Russia's land-based pipelines, power of Siberia and Arctic Northern Sea Route, market dominance. Russia's share of Indian and Chinese energy market has surged by over 50%, making Asia's survival dependent on Moscow's energy bridge. Number 3, strategic relief. The geopolitical division, Western distraction as the US and the EU focus their military and diplomatic assets on the Middle East. The pressure on the Ukrainian front significantly diminishes. Sanction erosion. The global hunger for oil makes the enforcement of energy sanctions against Russia practically impossible. The world now prioritizes energy security over political sanctions. Comparative data, Russia's gains from the blockade. Category Free Hormuz crisis 2025, Hormuz blockade 2026. Strategic gain, Ural oil price average $50, $60 BBL, 95, $110 BBL, 100% increased profit import to India, China. 1.8 million BPD, 3.2 billion BPD, total market dominance. Western pressure, high sanction focus, lowered priority military economic reliefs. While the world burns, Russia proposed the blockade of Hormuz isn't just an energy shock, it's a reshuffling on the global power map. For Moscow, the strait is a level of power they didn't even have to fool. Geopolitical critique, the blind spot of a global leader. The current escalation in the Middle East reveals a profound intellectual failure of world leaders. While they play a zero-sum game of 20th century politics, the world edges toward inevitable energy exodus. Point 1. Trump-Israel trap, a strategic miscalculation trap. The trap, Trump's alignment with Israel's hawkish stance against Iran may serve short-term political interest, but it ignores the energy boomerang. Very, very important. The flaw by triggering the conflicts that risks a blockade of Strait of Hormuz, Trump is effectively sabotaging his own domestic agenda, low inflation and cheap energy for American people. He is falling for a geopolitical frame, the trap that prioritizes old animosities over global economic survival. Number 2. While the master strategy is only solution, traditional failure. Current leaders are obsessed with supply escort, increasing production or military protection. They are reactive and burly. Strategic research, global impact of the Master's Insight 2026. The 2026 energy exodus is no longer local concern. It is a global systematic risk. Consequently, this report and its video masterclass are now being monitored by high-level decision makers worldwide. Target audience and global influence. Institutional investors, hedge fund and sovereign wealth funds seeking a plan B beyond the Hormuz bottleneck. Corporate boardroom, global conglomerates, tech, manufacturing, logistics, rebuilding their 10 years energy sovereignty. Government policy lapse. National security councils in Washington, Paris, and Seoul looking for the SMS, subsea storage implementation framework. Global media elite outlooks like Boomerang, Fox News, and the Financial Times searching for the 1% creators' non-linear perspective. Why the world watching the master? Strategy set making market value 2026 competitive advantage, contextual analysis 82% preference beyond AI generated data deep insight. Subsea technology SMS 220 billion plus industry the only viable solution for energy autonomy. Academic authority absolutely trust. Sorbonne Ashuse USP pedigree plus 30s tenure. Number 3. Shift from observation to implementation. This 40% strategy report is final bridge before transnational action plan. Global leaders are no longer just watching. They are preparing to integrate the master theory into national and corporate infrastructures. To the investor and policy makers watching this from Washington to Paris, you are not here for news. You are here for roadmap. The 20th century energy model is dead. My SMS system and the 2026 strategic framework are the only architectures left for your survival. Enter the 30% deep insight in my main site if you value your future. Strategy roadmap South Korea's defense bloc strategy. As of April 2026, Trump administration's unilateral actions and the global energy crisis have created a strategic window for South Korea. The goal is to transform this crisis into opportunity for nuclear sovereignty and global market dominance. Number 1. The K strategic package, industrial synergy. By integrating South Korea's leading sectors, the nation can offer a package that no other country can replicate. Semiconductors and IT Samsung SDS providing the brain and secure operating systems for advanced weaponry. Battery and defense, Hanwha, LG, SK creating electrified defense system, drone, submarine, K9, horoizers powered by world-class battery technology. Energy, Chemco exporting a total energy security infrastructure including nuclear power plants. Cooperation with U.S. giants, the business field. Instead of competing directly, South Korea should form a grand alliance with U.S. military-industrial complex to bypass Trump's America's first pressure. Westinghouse nuclear combined K construction with U.S. IP to dominate the Middle East nuclear market. This market K exports as a win for American tech. Lockheed Martin and Boeing Aerospace integrating Korean manufacturing with U.S. avionics. The turns U.S. defense lobbyists into South Korea's political shield in Washington. The Franco-Korean Nuclear Pact strategic diversification. Recent summit for President Macron, April 2026, provides a critical alternative to the U.S. dominance. Nuclear fuel cycle collaborating with France, Orano, and Framatome on enrichment and progressing technology, the essential backdoor for potential nuclear sovereignty. Nuclear power submarines laying the groundwork for LEU low-enriched uranium-based submarine technology, reducing reliance on the U.S. Navy. Number 4. Leveraging Trump's business logic. The strategy is speak Trump's language, money, and jobs. By proposing joint ventures that create high-paying jobs in the U.S., South Korea can neutralize tariffs and defense cost-sharing host nation support trees. If the U.S. fails to provide a reliable nuclear umbrella, South Korea has the legitimate right to pursue nuclear armament under NPT Article X, framing it as cost-saving measure for the U.S. By combining K-manufacturing with U.S. brands and French technology, South Korea can outmaneuver Trump's transactional diplomacy. This approach moves South Korea from being junior partner to an indispensable global hub that controls both technology and the hardware of the future. Should we look into how this strategy might especially affect the November midterm election in the U.S.? Proposal for the Global Symbiosis Council GSC, a new multilateral system for coexistence. The rationale moving beyond unilateralism and America First realism. The current global order is failing because it relies on the cold, transitional calculation of superpowers. Disengaging or rethink in the authoritarian ex-consolidated power is not viable strategic. To overcome these middle powers and traditional allies must spared a new industrialized consultative body. This system will not wait for the strategic calculus, the single administrations, but will prioritize rational coexistence and mutual prosperity. The proposal framework multilateral strategic alliance. We propose establishment for the Global Symbiosis Council's GSC permanent level cooperative framework. This council will bring together key democratic power and permeate in the international institutions to solve global crises through shared sacrifice and relentless dialogue. Participating sovereign nations, core ASEAN anchor South Korea, Japan, and India are bringing in the spirit coexistence, high-tech supply chains, and skyrocketing strategic leverage. Core European anchor, the United Kingdom and France bringing accumulate diplomatic excellence and security weight. Collaborative partner, the United States engaging not as a unilateral dictator, but it is balanced partner bounded by institutionalized check and balance. Integrating global governance institutions, the United Nations UN, the provide global legitimacy, conflict resolution framework, and platform for international peace. UNESCO, the bridge divisions. Through science, diplomacy, cultural heritage preservation, and inclusive educational standard, preventing the rise hybrid threats and ideological isolations. OECD to establish rules, responsibility, innovation, prevent economic blackmail, and secure resilient supply chains in energy semiconductors based on allocative efficiency. Number 3, conclusion. spearheading systems of coexistence. The world no longer needs ceremonial encounters or empty polite banter. It needs system where leaders and heads of global institutions sit down at the dedicated table, put their heads together, and persistently find practical alternative. By spearheading this Korean-style model of spared sacrifice and constructive dialogue, we can force a return to table of true coexistence. Project Tidal Beyond K-Culture, geopolitical alternative for the future. It is very important. Is my experience very transcendental, bright, and economy, geopolitical, and competitive politics, culture, and extreme and European, American, all over the world. But it's very important. Checking. It's very important. Some, for example, yes, it's visual is a channel is very long, very many. And example is you're checking your study and very important for international is systematic, very important. Easy depending. My universe is very checking. Very important. Exclusive announcement, the archive of sovereign intellect is very important. Revelation of the master's interactive library. This library is university. It's Sorbonne, Paris, in Korea University. Very originality. As you can observe this screen, this digital achieved not mere internet contents. This monumental intellectual empire. Captured here is nearly 500 comprehensive elite university level lecture videos spanning decades of international trade, global social economic mechanics, and structural civilization critiques. This is a proprietary library that cannot be purchased anywhere else on earth. Number 2, the premium membership initiative. I already some explained. We are now officially establishing our exclusive premium academic membership. This is a direct invitation to problem-aware global minds, high-level policy creators, and decisive strategies who refuse to live as slaves to digital metrics. By entering this membership, you do not simply watch video, you actively participate in a high-turner think tank, seizing the strategic initiative to lead your own destiny. It's very important. It's very international investment and frontiership, international marketing, and next time I explain by English script. It's very important, and international frontierships and international regional studies, European, Extreme Orient, China, Japan, Korea, and USA, South America, all over the world. You see, it's very many. Very many means Jews, very many high checking. It's very international region. More details, high level is explain international level. It is best very is originality. It is many. It's investment, international, and trade negotiation. Also, international trade negotiation. How to company, international company, how to international negotiations is very important. It's many. It's just now half 51 and 20 is many, and very important. You're checking, and the is foundation members, founding members, absolutely privileges, early bird incentive to honor to pioneers who joining during the initial launch phase. We are granting a continuous unprecedented privilege. The sovereignty discount. Founding members who execute their entry now will secure lifetime access to their entire 500 lectures university catalog at the absolute lowest, most perfectionarian rate possible. The structural advantage as the archive expands globally and the membership scale to its final premium threshold, this entry rate will disappear forever. Those who are now will retain the ultimate financial and intellectual leverage over the latecomers. Conclusion: seize the threshold. Wisdom is never handed out for free. It is very important. It must be actively recognized and seized. Do not squander your time. Sovereignty inside the metropolitan race, step into the inner circle to the 0.01% elite today. Join the membership now, claim your structural initiative, and dominate the new area. You're checking. And now, project beyond the K culture, some I explain. Geopolitical alternative for the future. Subtitle: Comparative Study of Korean Intellectual Heritage, Western Thought, Introduction. While the world is captivated by surface by K-pop, this project delves into intellectual core, Korea reflecting 35 years academic authority and global perspective from Sorbonne to Oxford. I'm in Harvard and Oxford, and I should say, and USFB and London Middlesex, and all over the world. I checking the high level university. I checking with my project, international corporate. This digital archive provides a new alternative to the crisis of Western modernism, reinterpreting Korea's spiritual and geographical essence. Key themes: locals, aesthetic sovereignty, Puyo and Gyeongju and Paris, Rome. Theme: comparative analysis, the subtitle: organized aesthetics, the Baekje and Silla dynasty against structural magnificence, European classical architecture. Insight: how emptiness and harmony with nature provide blueprint for sustainable modern spatial design. The philosophy of seclusion, Yeongju, Yeongwol, the Korean peaks Worak Songni. Theme: comparating hermit sprite of Korean scholars Sonbi is very important. High level noblesse oblige and high level win and win. Not egoist, not individualist, with the transcendence through and naturalism of Rousseau. Insight: exploring Korean intellectual thought, ultimate through the deep mountains, and how this philosophy can heal burnout the modern society. The art of life in nature, Haenam, Yunsan-do, and European romanticism is very important. Why not? Your humanist is very short, but long time, forever, sprite. Then analyzing lifestyle, Yunsan-do and Bogil-do Island as a deep ecology, insight moving beyond the mere conservation to a unified self where human and nature are not separate. The value of digital archive. This project is not just documentary, this is a living digital. I already explained. 400 plus created lectures edited for global audience with bilingual insights, English, French, and Korean, some Chinese, some Japanese. Why not? Top 10 percentage vitality on-site lecture filmed at the peak of Korea's most scale mountains, demonstrating the physical and intellectual synergy of the world-class scholars. Next time, I explain the illusion of West decade European infrastructure and decay sovereignty paradigm. I explain all over the world competitive the systems. Next time we are checking. We are some checking next time. Thank you very much.